Don't film them too much.
No. No word of a lie, I was literally just speaking live on some Thai local radio. Like, for real, like. So they asked me my name, they asked me where I was from, and they asked me where I was going after it.
Hello, one and all. Welcome to the beginning of a video. Me and a few of my friends, not the usual crew, heading down to southern Thailand. Oh, Cass is here. She is pretty usual for the channel at this point. Long drive tonight, getting to our first herping spot around 12 to 1 a.m. in the morning. So not going to be herping too much tonight. I'll update you when we get there. All right, so we've reached the spot. Now, this spot may seem very familiar with many of you. It has featured in David's videos before. And we're about to look for some snakes. We arrived at 1 a.m. in the morning, so we haven't got long to look around since we actually do want to get some sleep tonight. But we'll see if we can turn something up. I'll film if we do. Oh, look at this. I haven't seen any snakes yet, but there's a woodpecker. Oh. Oh. But really, really. Oh. Whoa. What the? Jakob just spotted our first snake of the night. Pretty predictable. I told him this would be the first one, but just take a look in there. There's a nice adult mangrove pit viper. And I'm going to attempt to catch it along with Moritz' help. Like this.
Keep your light on it.
Do you want to break the branch, Ripper?
No. I kind of, what I need is someone to like have a stick to touch its tail, but I should, I'm good. I'm good. All right, careful.
Get rid of the tree.
Hand this to you, Moritz, if that's okay. And I'm going to climb back on the boardwalk. All right, take a look at this mean looking girl, I would presume. They get a lot bigger than this, but this is still like an adult. Oh no, the wasps are back. All right, ignore the screaming in the background. They're just dealing with some wasp shenanigan, but they took it away from us, so I'm happy about that. I think it's got a layer of mud over it, which is making it look considerably more dull than it actually is, but as they're a mud-dwelling viper, that is to expect. But they got this cool kind of diamondback pattern. Very obscure. This population in this area is extremely dark. Okay, here's a much better example of a mangrove pit viper to show you. I can show you in situ, and it's got a much more like a defined coloration. It's less muddy. This one's about half the size of the last one, but it's sitting here in ambush. Not quite sure what it would be hunting for. Maybe frogs, geckos, lizards, rats, probably crabs. Crabs, perhaps? Properly doing its thing. Super obvious on the side of the trail. Somehow we missed it, but someone spotted it. I don't know who. Jakob, was it you?
Yeah, but Moritz would have spotted it.
The boss. Oh my god. We just found the biggest mangrove pit viper I've ever seen. Like, this is no joke. Double the size of the largest one we've seen tonight, if not more. We're gonna get this one down because I have to see like the size of this down low, so 1 second. Just take a look at the size of this mangrove pit viper. I mean, I knew these get big. I told these guys they get to like this size and above, but you know, seeing large individuals of species is always uncommon. And now this right here is the best example you could see of what I meant when the species is given a really bad reputation for being aggressive, defensive. Whereas in reality, if you catch them gently, they're a really freaking calm snake. Just check out that yellow on the labial scales of this one. I'm certain if this one was washed, it would actually be a really, really nice individual. But this is one cool snake, and damn, like definitely the biggest one I've seen, completely trumping everything we've seen tonight. Just look at the size of it, like in his hand there. That's a big girl right there. What a cool snake. All right, let's keep moving.
You're all good, you've got time.
The hole's probably not even big enough to fit his body in.
You've got time.
Shoot.
Are you filming?
Yeah, should I zoom though? Because it's pretty
No.
far.
Great. Let's go.
Wow, that's a cool snake. Wow, this one's got like black in between the scales, like a Malayan Krait. I've never seen that before. That is freaking really, really interesting, actually. All right, guys. Sorry I didn't get to run an intro for this. We're a bit in a panic because we thought it was going down a hole, and we got our, well, what is the group's #1 target here, and man, is that cool. You probably can't see anything from up there, so we're going to pause the video. All right, you may be able to hear in the background some Thai friends of ours who came to visit and see what we were up to. They misidentified this snake as a Nu Plong Tong, which is the mangrove cat snake, but this is not Nu Plong Tong. This is the triangle, and such a cool one at that. This one has black between the scales, which I've never seen this species, and is actually a really beautiful addition. I would say it greatly improves the way it looks. Oh, they're gone. Oh. Yeah, they're gone. The bosses are gone. Okay, now we've got some freedom to talk properly. Yes, we did get what we were looking for. I really wanted to show this snake to the guys. It was Keith's #1 target for this trip. Damn, is it nice. I haven't seen one of these for years, and I can't wait to take some proper pictures of this. I sent Cass off to the car to get my big diffuser, and she has just disappeared. And we can't find Moritz. So right now it's only Keith and only Jakob enjoying this find. But you know what? That's all good. That's all good. You can tell like the demeanor of the snake is incredibly, hold on, let me zoom out. Is incredibly placid. Kraits, you know, are in my opinion some of the easiest snakes to handle. People who probably aren't from Southeast Asia know them as these highly venomous, extremely like dangerous snakes, but in reality they are just dopey, slow moving, and very, very, very predictable. So yeah, always an easy snake to catch and handle. But man, like that color scheme is just incredible. Like, isn't that just the coolest color scheme you can see in a snake? It's like, I don't know, you think of like warning signs we put out on roads in Europe and around the world, that black and yellow, you know, it's iconic. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm receiving a call from Cass, so I'm gonna have to pick that up now. Okay, we just got done taking some photos. As you can see, it got a little bit dirty, like the hook that we were using to handle it was very muddy. And please ignore the bosses just shouting over me in the background, but really interesting banded krait, amazing species. So happy I could show this one on the channel. I mean, just a fantastic, really, really fantastic snake. Young adult, definitely mature, but nowhere near probably half the size they get, if not maybe less. But yeah, he's calmed down so much now, being really cooperative, letting us take some nice photos. It's been an absolute pleasure to see that snake. So glad we got to see this, and we're just going to take one last long look with our own eyes without the camera lens before we let it cruise off.
No word of a lie, I was literally just speaking live on some Thai local radio. Like, for real, like. So they asked me my name, they asked me where I was from, and they asked me where I was going off. So you looked at the radio, and there was like 45 people tuned in out of 200, and you could see they were all like typing. So it was obviously some kind of like
Okay, so those people who originally were being friendly and talking to us up on the boardwalk went away, as you saw, and then came back with double the amount of people, and then following that came back with the police. Now, we obviously knew it was time to go, and we were escorted out and confronted by a large amount of mixed police and like local official looking fellows who basically informed us that this area was being used as a COVID patient isolation unit, and that we just walked in through the door of a strict no-go area and started fondling snakes. So in the end, we thought things could go south real quick, but they turned out to be friendly, understanding. We explained the situation, they understood that, and they told us, basically, you can't come back here, sorry.
Yes, thank you, thank you.
Okay.
I understand. Up. All right, welcome. We are at a waterfall kind of area. For tonight, we're gonna be hitting up a couple different areas similar to this, looking for some different variety of snakes, so the stuff you were seeing in the kind of riverine mangrove habitat we've been frequenting. But without further ado, we've got snakes to find, so let's get cracking. Okay, it took us a while to find our first snake of the night, but what we got here is a cool snake. It's a dark-headed cat snake, and to be honest, this is probably the ugliest dark-headed cat snake I've ever seen. I mean, it has a dark grey head, but the body is like uniform brown with dark black spots. Like, we saw one down south not too long ago that was literally orange with a green head, and I'm working with this one, which is just, well, it's just a brown snake. But what I do like about these ones is their head shape. I think they've got one of the coolest head shapes of all the boigas. Quite broad, with a nice sort of squarish shape, but not too elongated. Like, but look at those bulging eyes. An interesting little fact about these guys, they actually eye shine. Their eyes reflect from certain angles, and you can eye shine these, but you need to know what kind of eye shine you're looking for, because it does look very different from frogs, lizards. It's a unique kind of eye shine. It doesn't shine brightly, but it does reflect. And I have spotted cat snakes by eye shine on a couple occasions, so proof that it works. But yeah, not gonna spend too much longer with this one. Gonna keep herping, see if we can find anything else nice tonight. I'll probably snap a couple pictures since it's sitting still, and even if it is the ugliest one I've ever seen, it's good to get variety. So good to get some pretty ones and show what the other morphs can be, which is this extremely plain coloration. But yeah, dark-headed cat snake. A lot of people consider this to be one of the more uncommon ones in Thailand, but personally I think they're pretty common in most of the areas down south where I herp. I see them a lot. But yeah, let's keep moving. Look at the size of this leech that was feeding on Keith.
Every fucking
Oh my
time.
god, man. I can see another one in his like shoe there.
Fuck?
Yeah, that's the problem with these damp nights, damp trails. You get leeches around. Alright, so Moritz just spotted a snake in here. Let me just quickly retrieve this guy for us. We know what it is. It's a lovely striped morph, Calamus subannulatus. I'm gonna calm it down and then take some more video. 1 second. Okay, so here we can now see our second snake of the night. I've shown these in my videos before on the last southern Thailand trip. And surprisingly, they were all striped morphs. I don't know how these seem to become the dominant morph everywhere these days. We even saw a shed skin of one of these guys in the rafters of a building in the last location we were at. But yeah, very cute, non-biting, harmless Lycodon. And always a nice one to see. They've got this cool sort of creamish yellow, quite intricate patterning. Arboreal lizard egg eaters, like they eat the eggs of geckos. They specialize. Of course, they'll probably predate on a gecko themselves now and again, but most of the time you see these guys feeding, it will be on gecko eggs, and often you can find them with like the yolk from eggs like around their mouth. But very cute little snake. I'm gonna have a nice look at this, maybe take a picture or two, and then let it go right back to where we found it. Okay, so Jakob caught this nice little terrapin here. Look. I'm not 100% sure, but I think this might be a Spinosa, but I'm so bad at IDing terrapins, really. I don't know what I'm doing, but seeing a turtle in Thailand, especially in a stream in the forest, is always an unusual occurrence, so definitely worth filming this time. I don't think we're going to get him to come out of his shell anytime soon, but you can see his little feet in his face. Cute little guy. Anyway, going to show this to Cass because she wants to see. Alright, just got another snake, and it's another Boiga. It is a nice Boiga dendrophila. Maybe still a sub-adult. I don't think this one's quite reached adulthood yet. I'm slipping over my words. But still, interesting to see out in the forest, in situ. I'm going to get it out and you guys can take a better look. Okay, now it's calmed down, we can get a really nice look at this sub-adult mangrove cat snake. These are just so iconic. To anyone who isn't from this region, I imagine that this has to be one of the coolest snakes, just because the black and yellow patterning, the bluish sheen on the scales, and general sort of look of these snakes is just incredibly cool. For us, we get so blasé to them due to how like common they are and how many I see. But whenever I bring someone to Thailand, like Jakob, for example, who'd never herped before in southern Thailand, it's like always one of the main snakes people want to see. And yeah, just an extremely nice snake with a really, I'd say this is one of the most iconic snakes in the region. And a good way to kick the night back into gear. With a very, very pretty snake. But we're back on the mangrove boardwalks. Not the great lighting to do an intro here, so we're just going to get cracking and I'll film when we find something. Alright, Cass just spotted this on the boardwalk. It was definitely not here when we walked past a couple minutes ago. This big yellowish patterned mangrove pit viper, real big one. Not as big as the one from the concrete boardwalk, but damn. We were just saying that we hadn't seen a single snake at this spot, and then boom. Probably the nicest mangrove pit viper in terms of pattern we've seen so far. And they always have this layer of like mud on them, so you don't truly see what's going on. But yeah, this boss was not here a few seconds ago. we must have disturbed it and it like climbed up onto the boardwalk, or I don't know exactly what, but damn, that's cool. I'm gonna grab a photo. I'm not sure how well you can see. Spotted another mangrove pit viper, this time a proper in situ of it on the mangrove roots. I'll put a circle around if it isn't obvious, but it should be relatively obvious. Big, very fat, potentially gravid or well-fed adult. But yeah, just gonna keep moving. No way I can get close to this one since it's so high off the ground, like I don't even know how I'd get back up, but yeah, second mangrove pit of the night. Alright, so we've actually switched over to the big camera for the first time ever on my channel to film this. Something I'm thinking about doing a bit more often and possibly full time.
Ignore the gunshot there. I don't know what that was, where it was from, but yeah, juvenile mangrove pit viper with a really strong pattern. The good thing about this camera is I can zoom in and not lose many pixels, so you should be able to see this quite well. But yeah, we're gonna move on. All right guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I just thought I'd film the outro here to show you kind of the thing we're getting up to when we're not filming. You know, this wasn't a strictly herping venture down south. We've been doing a lot of like, just nice things. Like right now I'm just out on this completely tranquil, isolated beach, no civilization other than where we're staying in sight. All the way down the coast you can just see forest, islands, maybe a few fishermen's boats. But yeah, this is some beautiful places you get to visit here, and I'm so lucky that I live in this country. And thank you so much for watching the video and the general support on the channel. It's really good. We'll be back probably with another Hua Hin video after this, but I'm planning on doing some smaller trips and getting some interesting species and content for the channel. So stay tuned for that. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.